President and Mrs. Kennedy, with French Cultural Minister Andre Malraux and his wife, pay homage to the first public appearance of Mona Lisa, the Leonardo da Vinci painting that has captured the fancy of generations for 400 years.
The United States sent astronaut Gordon Cooper on a 600,000-mile journey around the world in 1963. All systems were go during the thrilling 22-orbit, 34-hour flight. A woman blasted into space for the first time in '63. Russia sent Valentina Tereshkova on a 48-orbit ride. TV audiences watched, and Premier Khrushchev talked to her.
Say to me, you let me hold your hand. You let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
A new weapon is installed in the Pentagon, but it's a weapon of peace. This is the teletype that will operate at the U.S. end of an open line to Moscow. This link, it is hoped, will help avoid misunderstandings that could possibly trigger a catastrophe. Now, a president could be in touch with the Russian premier in a matter of seconds. The new Pope's first public appearance is to impart the blessing Urbi et Orbi to the city and to the world. The new pontiff was the first cardinal created by Pope John, and as Pope Paul, he is going to continue the ecumenical council. Thus, the new spiritual leader of a half-billion Catholics pledges to make his church a dynamic force. And there's a great swell of cheers to welcome Martin Luther King to the speaker's podium, a man who stands as a symbol of all they are fighting for.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
The University of Alabama campus at Tuscaloosa is under a tight security guard of state police as Governor George Wallace appeals for calm and prepares to confront a deputy U.S. attorney. The federal officers are armed with a proclamation from President Kennedy urging the governor to end his efforts to prevent 2 Negro students from registering at the university. The governor is adamant. Brigadier General Henry Graham arrives to tell the governor, "It's my sad duty to ask you to step aside on orders of the President of the United States." The governor yields to federal authority. 5 minutes after the governor leaves, James Hood is the first of his race to become a University of Alabama student.
2-1 and sweep the series in 4 straight. All bedlam breaks loose on the field as the jubilant Dodgers try to reach Koufax, who started the sweep in the opener and then also was there to finish it. Ford hurled a brilliant 2-hitter in the finale, but superb overall pitching of the Dodgers dominated the Classic. Never before in all their wonderful years had the Yankees lost 4 in a row in a World Series.
And love in, close relative to the be in. Sort of a happy happening laced with the rites of spring. The slogans were just as frank as ever.
For nearly a decade, Premier Noordin Dim ruled his small nation of 15 million without open opposition. But in mid-1963, protests began mounting against his regime. The United States poured $1 million a day and 16,500 troops into the war against the Viet Cong guerrillas. During a noontime motorcade through downtown Dallas on November 22nd came the stunning moment. An assassin's bullet struck the president once, twice. The First Lady cradled her mortally wounded husband. The young widow's great dignity and grief gave heart to all the world's mourners. A caisson drawn by 6 horses took the president's casket to the Capitol building to lie in state. Mrs. Kennedy took her 2 little children, Caroline and John Jr., to say a last farewell to their father.